Sally from the future. This is Sally's backyard. I'm Sally. I forgot to do an intro when I started recording a couple weeks ago. So I wanted to say hi, and I want to thank you all for joining me. My channel is vlog style. I like to do a lot of different things. I knit, I crochet, I sew, I cook, I bake, I garden, and I like to share all of those things. Maybe not all in one episode, but I do like to share those things. And I also like to share glimpses of the area where we live. So thank you for joining me, and let's get started. This really cute pattern on Pinterest and for fleece hats, and my husband loves fleece hats, and he said, I asked him, I said, do you want a knit hat? Do you want a crocheted hat? He's like, no, I want you to replace a couple of my fleece hats because they're really getting worn out, and I made them a long time ago, probably 10 years ago. So I was up for that, and fleece is such a forgiving fabric to sew. And I will link to this pattern. It's free. You just have to sign up and they send it to you via your email. But this is so cute. Oh my gosh. And if you can see, the fabric has a knit cable pattern on it on the fleece. So he's getting a knit cable fleece hat for Valentine's Day. And I'm gonna make a matching scarf here in a few minutes. So there you go. This took no time. I'm baking bread today. And I found the recipe on A Taste of Home's website. I've used their recipes for a long time, and they usually seem to work out okay. Sometimes online recipes are, you never know what you're going to get. But I'm going to try this. I'm making the dough in the bread machine, and then I'm going to finish it in the oven, in a Dutch oven. But for now, I'm making a spinach salad for lunch, trying to be healthy, and yeah, we'll see how the bread turns out. While I'm waiting for the bread dough to finish in the bread machine, I'm going to sew up these fingerless mitts that I finished last night. And I will tell you more about these later on in the podcast. I'd go ahead and tell you about these fingerless mitts that I made. First, let me tell you about the yarn. It's my favorite worsted weight. It's Malabrigo Rios, and this is the Zarzamora colorway, and I looked that up, and in Spanish that means blackberries. So yeah, it's so pretty. I have a new winter coat that's kind of a dark green, and this really matches it well. So I used the Easy Fingerless Mitts pattern, and I will link to that in the description. And I used size 7 4.5 millimeter needles on these, and they work up really quick. You knit them flat, you sew them together, and you put the little thumb hole in there. And I like to turn mine inside out because I like the way the stitches look running this way. If they're the other way, then you just see the knit stitches and they're running this way. So I like them running the other way. And I've made 3 pairs of these now over the last few years, and they fit really well, and they're very warm. I love them. Very comfortable, and this yarn is just so warm and squishy. And I used Malabrigo Rios on my barley hat, and I washed it the other day, and I took it out of the washing machine, and it was all stretched out, you know, like when you would block something. And I thought, oh no, I've ruined it. So I threw it in the dryer, and it turned out perfect. It's soft, it has the perfect shape. So yeah, this yarn is one of my favorites. So there are the Easy Fingerless Mitts. I also finished the washcloth or dishcloth that I was working on last time. The pattern is Meg's Dress, and this is by the Kitchen Sink Shop. And this is in Lily Sugar and Cream, and the color is light blue. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way this turned out. I used, let's see, the pattern calls for size 3 needles, but I used size 4 needles, 3.5 millimeter. And the Lily Sugar and Cream is a worsted weight, and it's a little stiff until you wash it, of course, and then it softens up. But it was a little hard on my hands. So I have ordered some different cotton yarn because this is part of a year-long knit-along. The Dishcloth knit-along with Kitchen Sink Shop. And I'm hoping that it'll be a little softer and a little easier on my hands. So I'll let you know. Anxiously waiting for the next pattern, the pattern for February to be released so I can start on that. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I learned a couple of new stitches. I made some mistakes. I had to correct some mistakes, which is the one thing that I always have trouble with in knitting is when I make a mistake, how to fix it. So, you know, that was good. So good learning experience, nice outcome, really happy with it. So yeah, there we go. And if you're curious, the bread turned out great. It looks really pretty. Hoping that it tastes good. So yeah, recipe success. Again, I will link to that. I did make some modifications to the recipe because I made it in the bread machine. So I will put that in the description box so that if you want to follow the recipe or if you want to try it with your bread machine, you can do that. I'm still wearing my Magnolia cardigan every day. The Brava sport weight is holding up wonderfully, but so far no pilling or anything. It's just so comfortable, and it's perfect weight for me with these little, what I'll call lace repeats. It's not super heavy, so I can wear it during the day when I'm working around the house or whatever, but just love it so much. Can't recommend it highly enough. I think I'm going to make another one. But I think the next one I might make in a wool yarn or a wool blend. So yeah, keep you posted. big football fan, I'll admit that. But today, the Cincinnati Bengals are playing for the championship and possibility of going to the Super Bowl. So, I've got my orange and black shirt on, which I didn't plan that. I just put it on this morning, didn't really think about it. And I'm getting ready to wind up a project to work on during the game. So let me tell you a little bit about that. So I'm going to make the Hotcakes shawl. It's a knit pattern, free pattern on Ravelry. And I'm going to use this yarn that I've had in my stash for a while. And this is Evanston Stitchworks. And this is a merino silk yak mix and blend. And I love this yarn. It's so soft. It's just really nice to work with. And then I have my two fuzzy Fiberz yarns that I showed you in the last episode. So I'm going to be using the 3 of these colors together. And this is a very easy pattern, something that'll be fun to knit and work on during the Bengals game. A couple of things I forgot to mention. I'm from Dayton, which is only an hour from Cincinnati. So we have a lot of Cincinnati Bengals fans around us. And my husband's family has had season tickets to the Bengals game since 1972, I believe. I think that's right. So yeah, vested interest in the game today. So hooday, go Bengals. I didn't get a whole lot done on the scarf that I'm working on that I started for before the game yesterday because the game was a nail biter, to say the least, and I couldn't concentrate on knitting. So, but I did get some, just a little bit of a start on it, and I think I'm going to do either a color blocking or some kind of a striping with the 3 colors. I haven't really decided yet, but this is a super easy knit. There's increases on one side, decreases on the other side. It's a free pattern, but I think this will make a nice, warm, squishy scarf. So yeah, I'm excited to keep working on that. And tomorrow, the kitchen sink shop is releasing the pattern for the second dishcloth in the knit along. So I'm excited about that too. Can't wait to get started. It's February 1st and the weather is actually quite nice today. It's 51 degrees and there's a little bit of sunshine. Day after tomorrow, they're talking about a potential winter storm. So I am baking. Whenever it starts to snow or they say it's going to snow, I start baking. So I'm making banana pudding pie. And I'm putting together a graham cracker crust and just a real easy banana pudding. And we'll put whipped cream on it later once it sets. And that will be a nice cozy dessert for us tonight. I'm using this Pyrex pie plate that belonged to my grandma. I've had this for many years. And I always make my pies in this. pattern for the next dishcloth dropped last night in my email, and this is from the kitchen sink shop, and the pattern is called Home is Best, and this is for February. So it's got little hearts. It's very cute, and she's basing these patterns on her favorite books and fictional characters, and this one is based on Little House on the Prairie, the book These Happy Golden Years, and it says, "Home is the nicest word there is," Laura Ingalls Wilder. She's also one of my favorites. So I'm going to start this today, and I've got my yarn, my new cotton yarn that I'm going to try. This is called Oh Baby Organic. It's 100% cotton. It's Lion brand. There's 180 yards in here, and this is a sport weight. As I said before, the Lily Sugar and Cream was a little tough on my hands with the smaller needle, the size 4. The patterns call for a size 3, but I moved up to a size 4. This is the color mauve, and I think that'll be really pretty for this month's dishcloth. I'm going to end this episode here. We are expecting a snowstorm starting late tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and into Thursday. They're calling for ice and snow. So if there's anything to report from that, any good footage from that, I will share that with you in the next episode. And for any viewers on the East Coast of the US, I hope you're recovering from last week's blizzard. But you know, it's winter. This is what we get. We just never know. So anyway, I hope you're all staying safe, and I hope you're all well. Thank you everyone for watching and for subscribing. I really appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram as @Sally'sBackyard, and you can find me on Ravelry as crochetster. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you again next time. Bye, everybody.